Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef. Today I'm going to show you how to make turkey cranberry wreath using your leftover turkey from Thanksgiving, or if it's not around that time of year, you can always use turkey that you purchase at the deli, or if you happen to find it in your store, you can certainly cook it from raw. So I want to go ahead and get started by chopping up our turkey. We're going to use our Flex Plus with Pampered Chef's food processor attachment. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do is I'm actually going to microwave this frozen turkey. It's had a little bit of time to defrost, but it's still got a chill on it. If you've ever chopped cold chicken, it can be a little bit difficult, so I recommend that you microwave it for just a little bit, just to take the chill off so that it will chop easier, whether you're using our food processor, our food chopper, manual food processor, or if you're using salad choppers. Just want to take that chill off. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave for about 1 minute, so hang tight, I'll be right back. Alright, so while we're waiting on that, I want to show you the food processor portion of Pampered Chef's Flex Plus. If you're not familiar with the Flex Plus, it's 3 appliances in one. They are all cordless and they use the same power handle and battery pack. So I'm going to show you the food processor portion. We're going to use the chopping blade, which is this one right here. I'll show you a different angle so that you can see that. And we're also going to use a grating blade for our Swiss cheese. So what we're going to do first is I want to show you how to take the blade off of this post, because all of the blades connect to this post here, and you want to make sure that you are not using multiple blades at the same time. So to take this off, what I recommend is just wrap your fingers around your hand around the bottom, or actually it's the top, I'll show you like this, and just grip on both pieces and then twist the post out. So I'm turning counterclockwise to release this post. To put this back together, you can just put your post inside and stick this right on the top and just press down and just turn just a little bit. Let me grab our turkey out of the microwave. All right, so took the chill off. That should make a big difference with us chopping. I'm gonna put that inside of our food processor container so it's not hot, and there's actually a couple of cold pieces in there. But I measured out about 4 cups of, we didn't pack it in, just 4 cups of leftover turkey. And if you have not watched my Thanksgiving turkey video, I recommend that you take time to do that, especially if you're planning on making a turkey on Thanksgiving. We're gonna put the turkey in here. I'm gonna place the lid on the top. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our power handle here. So this is the power handle, and then we're gonna attach the battery. And there's a little safety switch on the back. When you're ready to use this, you just press up on that. I'm gonna wait for this to time out. You press up, it lights this up, and I'm actually gonna turn this around so that I can see it, but you're gonna increase the speed to the highest speed. And if you leave it idle for 5 seconds, it's gonna reset. But let's go ahead and chop up. All right, and we're gonna add our celery. Let me grab a knife. And I'm just going to toss this in from the top. So what you can do, you have this, let me flip this around. You have this piece here. You can actually drop food right in the food chute if you like. So you can get this going and drop your food in. All right. Take off the battery. Oops. And then you can see we have our chopped turkey and celery. I'm going to pop this out. In a few minutes we are going to use the food processor again, but what I want to start doing is getting all of our ingredients in our classic batter bowl, and then I'm going to show you how to make a ring using Pillsbury crescent rolls. So if you've been around with Pampered Chef for a long time, then you know we made lots of rings and wreaths and braid recipes in the 90s, and they are always so fun to make around the holidays. So if you've never made them, I encourage you to do so. I'm going to run some water in this. We're going to get that rinsed off. I'm going to go ahead and add some pepper. I'm going to use Pampered Chef's peppercorn medley for this, and I love this. It's a blend of 5 different peppercorns. Get the pepper in there. This is really easy to fill. You just unscrew the cap, pour the peppercorns in. Let me rinse out my food processor bowl, because we're gonna need this for the cheese. Okay. You can put this on the top rack of the dishwasher. Most of the pieces to the food processor and most of the pieces to the Flex Plus that need to be washed are dishwasher safe, but be sure to check the use and care when you get this to make sure that you are only washing things in the dishwasher that are safe to go in there. And I'm gonna separate my post again because we're gonna use that, stick that in there, and I'll set this aside for just a few minutes. We're gonna go ahead and add a few other ingredients. I've got about a half a cup of dried cranberries. We're gonna toss those in, and then we're gonna take our food chopper. So this is different than the food processor. If you've been around with Pampered Chef for a while, I know you have this in your kitchen or you've at least seen it be used. We're gonna chop our walnuts. I prefer to use the food chopper for nuts over any of the other choppers that we have. It's a personal preference, but I find that it's the best tool for the job. You can chop directly in this little cup, or you can chop on a cutting board. I'm gonna actually chop in the cup, and I'm gonna show you a little trick. So to take this apart, you're gonna unscrew the collar. It just pops right off. This piece unplugs, and this opens up. Put this all on the top rack of the dishwasher for easy cleanup. You can take your blade cover and it plugs back in just like an outlet on the wall. Twist this back on, and every time you push this, you'll notice that the blades rotate just about an 1/8 or a quarter of a turn every single time. We're gonna pour the nuts inside of the chopper upside down. I find it's easier to keep them in if I do it that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pound on the top. This is the time of your day where you get to take out all the frustrations in your life. Take them out on your food, right? And you can chop these as fine or as coarse as you like. I do like to chop them up really fine. I like the flavor, but I don't really like the texture as much. And so when I chop them up really fine, it does make it, I like it a lot better personally. All right, we're gonna add a half a cup of mayonnaise, and I've measured this out in our measure all cup. This is the 2 cup size. We also sell a 1 cup and a 1/4 cup, which is called the petite. So I pulled this plunger down to the measurement that I needed, which was a half a cup, packed it to the top with the mayonnaise, and then you're gonna just press it out and scrape off any excess. You can also use this for liquids. To take this apart, you're gonna press in the center. It does say press, but a lot of people don't realize that it says it there. Twist these 2 pieces apart, and then you're gonna wash these by hand. Now, if you wanted to use this for liquids, you would put this back in, and you would line up the pour spout with the arrow that says for liquids this side up. I'll wipe up this mayonnaise because I'll get my hand in it if I'm not careful. All right. I'm also gonna add 2 tablespoons of a Dijon mustard that I made in a previous video. So if you missed that, I encourage you to go check it out. So the video was for honey mustard sauce dip. You could use it either way. In that video, I did use our South Carolina barbecue. I made the same exact recipe for this bowl, but I used our Dijon mustard rub. So you've got a couple of options when you are making your honey mustard. So we're just gonna mix this together. And then we just have a couple more ingredients. We're gonna add some parsley, and I'm gonna use our herb mill for that. So this is our herb mill, and I have some fresh parsley. You're gonna take the herb mill apart first. So I just pull these 2 pieces apart. This ball is weighted, and it actually is gonna push the herbs down into this mill. I've got some parsley. I'm gonna toss that in here. Oh, by the way, these come apart for easy cleaning. You can put those in the dishwasher on the top rack. All right, so let's chop our parsley. See how easy that is? Doesn't take any time at all. All right, so we need to get our cheese in here. We can't make this recipe without the cheese. And I do use more cheese than the recipe calls for. If you know me at all, then you know a little cheese is good, a lot's better. So we're gonna add a lot of cheese. And this time we're gonna use the grating blade. One side of this says this side up for fine, and the other says this side up for coarse. So you're just gonna snap that in, so it looks like that on the top. We're gonna take our lid, and I'm gonna pop this back on. Oops, did I do it backwards? I do it backwards at least 75% of the time. Okay, put the power handle on, put our battery pack on, and then what we're gonna do, and let's see, I wanted to make sure, I feel like I've got oh yeah, my little rubber piece is not flat. There we go. It wasn't sitting flush to the counter, so I wanted to make sure I got that fixed first. All right, so I'm gonna turn this on. Again, anytime you use this, unless the recipe tells you to use a lower speed, you're gonna start with the highest. For the cheese, you place it in through here, and you're gonna use the food pusher on the top so that you can actually put a little pressure on that cheese so that as it's going through the blade, it's going to continue to shred and not stop. You don't wanna put lots of pressure. If you put too much pressure, it's not gonna move. You're gonna actually stop the blade. So let's go ahead and grate the cheese. Put this other block in there. Oops, do I have a piece home? I might. All right, so the battery, the power source is actually not connected at the moment because that little light went off. Sorry if I scared anyone there. If I stick my hand in there, that wasn't a good example, was it? There we go. I'm going to drop this other piece in and see if we can get it to shred. All right, if you notice at the end, I sort of pumped this, and that just kind of helps push any of those small pieces that are on top of the blade back into the blade. So let's see if we have any more. I think we got most of them there. Good deal. Take the battery off, power handle off. Take our lid off, and then I recommend just pulling from the top of the post to take this blade out. And then what you're gonna do, so I just hold on to the post and kind of push away from me. So you wanna be careful when you're taking these pieces apart. We're gonna stir in our Swiss cheese. Like I said, I use more than the recipe calls for, but when you make this, if you would like to be more cheese conscious, I guess, and not use quite as much, go for it. All right, mix this together. We have a really nice thick mixture here, and I want to get all that cheese mixed in really good. And then I'm going to show you how to make our ring. Oh, this smells so good. And I have the oven preheated to 375 degrees, or it's preheating. I don't think it's beeped on me yet. Got a couple clumps of cheese I'm trying to mix in. Here we go. All right, let me grab our crescent rolls. We're gonna use our large round stone with handles. So this one comes in this really pretty white color, which I really like. Now for our stoneware, you don't need to spray this or anything to keep food from sticking. If you're using our rock crock grill stone, it's exactly the same size, but you would wanna spray it with oil. We're gonna take 2 packages of crescent rolls, so crescent roll dough. You can get these most any store. Oops. I tore that paper a little bit too soon. Let's see if I can. The hardest part of my job is getting these open, right? Let's see if I can. There we go. I try to avoid hitting them for the noise sake. All right. So what we're gonna do, by the way, Pillsbury does make their own brand, but I use Aldi brand. I actually like the way they taste better, and I do most of my shopping there. So, all right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just lay these out like in a sunshine pattern all the way around. Oops, I tore off a little piece. This does not have to be perfect, by the way, so don't stress about this too much. The taste is way more important than the presentation, but I understand that having things look pretty is important too. All right, so we're gonna do 2 packages. Let's see if I can open this one a little bit better. My hands are all greasy. There we go. And find the seam. There we go. And we'll just unroll this. So we're just doing this in like a sunburst pattern on the top, or around rather. And then we're gonna put our filling on top of this part all the way around. And then I'm gonna show you how to roll it up. It's so easy. When I joined Pampered Chef in 1999, this is like This was what everybody was making. All the rings. If you start running out of room, just sort of move this around so that you have room for the rest. But everybody was making these when I joined Pampered Chef. So this is one of the first techniques I learned when I joined. All right. So that's the really great thing. You can kind of reposition these. You want a circle in the middle. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on the top here, just so that I can press these together using our baker's roller. I'm just going to sort of seal these all together. And I'm also creating sort of a well all the way around. And I'm going to put the turkey mixture right in that well. Now, if you're, whoops, I'll have to wash that off before I use it. If you are making this and you don't have turkey, or if you prefer chicken, feel free to use chicken, and you can always substitute turkey and chicken in your recipes. I'm using the large stainless steel scoop for this recipe. Scoop this around. And after I make one go all the way around, I'm going to add any extra, I'll just disperse that around evenly. I love this recipe, and I don't make it nearly enough. If you're watching, I would love for you to tell me in the comments if you've ever made this before, what you think about it. And if you make it, come back and let me know what you think. All right, now I'm just going to kind of fill in between these gaps. And if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to be notified every time I upload a new video. And you can access all my recipes at theflipflopchef.com. So I hope you will join me there as well. All right, we have just a little bit left in here. I'm going to use our scraper. I'm going to move a little bit of this over here. All right, I'm just going to kind of flatten this out, get all that extra off, and let me rinse my hands and I'll show you how to put this together. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take each corner of your crescent roll dough, you're going to flip it over and just tuck it under, okay? So I usually just get them all over and then go back and tuck them in. And if any of them overlap, don't worry. I'm going to show you something else you can do here. So I'm going to just sort of tuck and spread this out at the same time. So if you have some pieces that are closer together, you can make your ring a little bit larger, and you can straighten it out. I can't draw a straight circle, so draw a circle, much less try to make one out of food without having to adjust it. So we're gonna just, there we go. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna brush this with an egg white. I've got that egg separated. I'm just gonna grab a new mini whipper since I dropped that one on the floor. That's a pampered perk, have more than one of the same thing. So I'm gonna take our mini whipper and I'm just gonna whip this egg white. This is our 2-cup prep bowl. All the other prep bowls I was using for our ingredients were 1 cup. A little bit more. This mini whipper is perfect for making your gravy for Thanksgiving, or if you're making another gravy. I also use it in the quick cooker when I'm making a pot roast. All right, so we've got a nice frothy egg white. You can skip this step, but it's not gonna be quite as pretty. So when you brush your bread with the egg white, it gives it a real shiny look. If you skip this step, it's gonna be more crusty. So I don't think it really affects the taste too much, but it does look better if you brush it with the egg white. So I'm using our silicone basting brush, and if you guys see anything in this video that you would like to add to your kitchen. As a consultant with Pampered Chef, I do earn commission on the products that I sell, and I would love the opportunity to be your consultant. So you can click the shop button on any of my pages. Depending on where you're watching, there is going to be a shop button. And be sure to join my recipe community at theflipflopchef.com. I think I got all this. I'm just gonna go around the inside of this. All right. There we go. So this is going to bake at 375 for 25 to 30 minutes until this is nice and brown. So I hope that you guys are really excited to try Pampered Chef's turkey cranberry wreath. I actually made it in a ring rather than the wreath design because I like doing this one better. It's easier, and I feel like you get a few more slices when you do it this way. So thank you again for watching. I hope to see you next time, and don't forget to check out theflipflopchef.com.